So Bitcoin is currently just below $90,000, and we have two sides to the market. We have one group that thinks that 2026 will for sure be the most bullish year that crypto has ever seen because of rate cuts, because of a new Fed chair, because of looser monetary policy. And on the other side of the coin, we do know that historically, next year should be a bear market if history is to repeat. In today's video, we'll be talking about this, going over the most recent Bitcoin price action. I am in some longs, I am in some shorts, and we'll be taking you through what the market is giving us for this upcoming week. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. Without further ado, let's jump right into the video. I hate to be a Debbie Downer here, but this is starting to look like a bear flag. We cannot ignore this fact. Right now, Bitcoin is essentially just consolidating, and it does look like if we are to repeat the same pattern that we've been seeing since 126K, we will likely break down from here and target these lows. Don't shoot the messenger. This is what I'm seeing on the charts, and it couldn't be any simpler than that. Now, of course, Bitcoin can still make it up here. Perhaps we tag the yearly open again, come back down, but ultimately, I do think that it is more likely than not that we do head lower. Now, what I want you to understand is the liquidity is still pointing to the upside. You can see that on the 1 month time frame, there is still tons of shorts piled into this market. And as I said in my previous video, I firmly believe that these guys will not be getting away with it. However, we cannot ignore the fact that there is still continued selling for Bitcoin, and that is simply why we continue to go down. If there's more selling than buying, we go down. It really is as simple as that. At this point in time, people that have shorted from around these levels do indeed have a free ride. However, I do think that we will likely be getting a larger relief rally. It takes time to form bottoms, as I discussed in my previous video. Now, what we need to talk about here is the CME gap. Very, very obvious. It's highly likely that we will go ahead and fill this gap right around $89,400. Right before I was filming this video, I posted a trade setup in my free premium group, which was actually a short, and Bitcoin was sitting right around $90,000. You can see here that we're now below 90K, targeting this CME gap. Highly likely we get filled. Now, taking a look at Bitcoin, there's not much to say here. I mean, we got some interesting price action going into the weekly close, and if we take a look at this chart, you can see that the downtrend is still very much intact. We have two major downtrends. If we connect all of the highs from 126K, you can see that this would bring us all the way to around $95,000. However, in the shorter term, we started moving down a little bit more steeper, and you can see that this dotted trend line does seem to be posing as resistance. Bitcoin wicked all the way up there, we got rejected. Now we're just chopping around here. A lot of people would say perhaps we're going ahead and forming these higher lows before we can go ahead and rip higher, but it's pretty clear to me that we are continuing to form this bear flag. I wouldn't be aggressive in any kind of trades. You can take a couple of scalps here and there, but in my opinion, if we cannot move to the upside here and hold above the yearly open and above this range, it's highly likely that this is just a bear flag and we do go ahead and roll over, tagging this downside liquidity. And what would that mean if we tag that level? To give you an update on my trades, you can see that I am still indeed in my Bitcoin long from a few weeks ago. When we absolutely dumped, you can see where I entered right around this level, and we got a pretty nice pump, secured some very, very nice profits. Reminder, this trade was shared in my free premium group, and it was one of my biggest trades of the year. I'm still holding on to it as a hedge in the market in case we do go ahead and pump. That would, of course, be very, very nice because my last take profit is actually around $98,000. However, I did secure some significant profits, and I'm not banking on the fact that we're going to pump from here. I actually think it's highly likely that we do go ahead and roll over, something you do need to consider. Now, my shorts. I'm still in this Ondo short, which I shared. I'm also in a Zcash short, which was shared in my premium group. All of the trades are looking good. I'm long, I'm short. It simply doesn't matter in this market. If we do manage to break down below here, call it $87,000, and the bulls really start to lose right around 86K, it is highly likely that we actually go sub $80,000. And that would be a trade that I'm looking to execute on. But until then, this isn't your sign to just rush into trades. I'm just sharing with you what I'm looking at, and my exact trade setups are shared in my free premium group before I come onto YouTube and share what I think is happening in the market. If you want to join my premium group, remember, you do have that first link in my description down below. You DM me the keyword premium on Telegram, and I'd be happy to onboard you into that group. The only requirement is that you've signed up with one of my affiliate exchange links, and with Bluffin, you can actually get a 100% cash back ahead of the holidays. Also, if you are a more seasoned trader and you deposit these amounts of capital, you can get VIP access, which significantly reduces your fees on the platform. And please also remember that I am not a financial advisor. Nothing that I discuss on this channel should be construed as financial advice. There's a big disclaimer in the description down below. I'm just a guy on the internet sharing his own personal trade setups and what he thinks could be happening in the market next. Now, at this point in time, Bitcoin is below $90,000, and I wouldn't be too aggressive with your trades here. Even the trades that I am taking, I'm not risking more than 5% of my total trading portfolio. 5% is considered extremely aggressive for me, which so happened to be when we managed to catch these lows. These next trades that I've been publishing in my premium group, I'm literally risking between 1 and 2% at most, because we cannot ignore the fact that this is tricky price action to trade. And remember that this week we are likely getting rate cuts. There is now an 87% chance that we will be getting rate cuts, pretty much priced in at this point in time. And we do have a couple of key events. We have the JOLTS job opening, and we also have the Fed interest rate decision, FOMC economic projections. This is going to be very, very interesting to pay attention to and guide us as to where the market could be headed next. Ultimately, as we do have rate cuts, we will likely see a lot of volatility in this market, likely providing a lot of opportunities if you are a trader. So here's what I think is next. A lot of people will be looking at this pattern and calling Bitcoin to move much, much lower from here. However, I do think that it is more likely than not that we continue to chop around. My base case is still that 2026 will likely be a bear market. Even with looser monetary policy, I think that this will be the case and history will likely repeat, and we should be getting an excellent buying opportunity, in my opinion, of course. I will be stacking Bitcoin heavy into 2026, and I will let you know on the channel as soon as I do. Now, in terms of my current spot portfolio, yes, I am still allocated into the market, and I will let you know if I decide to offload some of my Bitcoin. But at this point in time, very, very happy with how the trades are going, and also preparing myself to buy Bitcoin at much, much lower levels, all while I am also expecting a more significant relief rally in the market. That might sound confusing, but the point is we will likely tag that upside liquidity before going ahead and moving lower. But in the more short term here, we can easily tag these lows and take our time to form this bottom before getting that springboard up to around the 100K area, call it 98K, because it's that key zone that we've been talking about on the channel at length. So I hope I've made myself clear. I'm going to continue to actively trade this market and take the opportunities that are right in front of me, stack as much cash as possible, and buy Bitcoin aggressively in the bear market. And that sums up today's quick video. Honestly, Bitcoin looks like it's continuing to try to form a bear flag here. We will likely see some continued volatility going into FOMC, but I have started shorting different crypto assets in this market while I also maintain my long from the lows. Remember, any trade setup that I share is in my premium group if that interests you. If you enjoy the content, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. And remember, I have my bluff and leveraging tutorial right here if you'd like to get into trading. It is made specifically for beginners. I'll see you in the next video.